What's going on, guys? It's me, Dreamliner Fan 2016 here, and today we have another model plane review for you guys. Today I'll be reviewing the engine models 1/400 scale United Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker Livery. This is a very cool model to add to my United Airlines collection and my model plane collection overall. And overall, I think NG Models did a fantastic job on this model. I have not featured this model too often on my channel, just like that unboxing that I did, and that's it. But I'm looking forward to hopefully try to get this model in an airport out there at some point. But yeah, but other than that, this model still looks very nice, and I'm just super excited to review this model for you guys. So with that being said, you know the drill at this point. So we're gonna get started with the box as per usual. So with that being said, let's get started with the box. And here's the box of the United 738 Star Wars livery. Overall, I think this has got to be one of NG's best designed boxes, so you can really explain in the front of the box right here. So you got the Boeing 737-800 tiles right there. You got the CGI image of the aircraft with a white border. You got various not really aircrafts, but spacecrafts with a galaxy background. You got all the white dots representing the stars. And then you got all your various X-Wing fighters and a TIE fighter right there. I kind of know just a little bit of Star Wars, but I'm not really an overall Star Wars fan in general. But I still think Star Wars is a great franchise. You got the Star Wars, the Rise of Skywalker right here. That's their logo. You got the NG Models logo right there, 1/4 scale collectible models like I smell. You got the United Billboard titles, or the United titles, which I do like the fact there's also a red at the very bottom, so it's kind of creates a red shadow almost overlapping a blue United tile. So there's it's kind of a cool effect right here for this box right here. And then you got the registration of the aircraft, November 36272. You got the Boeing licensed product right there, and then all your remarks right there, all the various details about the licensing. You got one side right here. You got another side, still has that nice United Airlines title effect right there with the blue and the red. Here's another side. The CGI image of the aircraft is right there. And then you got another side right there. Here's the back side. It's kind of the same as the front, but you got your social media pages right there. Warning hazards. And once again, there's the Boeing licensed product. You got the NG logo on the top left corner. And the other number of this model is 58133. So as I said, this has got to be one of NG's best box designs. And overall, I think they did a great job on the box art in general. It really does show the depiction of this aircraft and model in general. But other than that, once again, they did a great job on the design of this box. Now let's get into the model itself. So with that being said, let's move on to the review of the model. And here's the model itself, looking absolutely gorgeous. And once again, NG Models, really nice job on this 1/400 model right here. They did release this back in the May 2022 releases, so I'm really glad to have this beauty in my collection. And yeah, if you're a Star Wars fan, then, well, if you're a Star Wars and aviation fan, then this model is typically for you. So let's get started with the review of the model. So let's get started. So you got the cockpit windows right there. You got the nose shape of the aircraft. I think you could see some lines of the nose, or the nose cone, which I think that's some nice attention to detail right there. You got your Star Alliance logo, and you got the nose landing gear along with the nose landing gear door containing part of the registration and the ETOPS logo. And then you got all your various stars right here. Once again, kind of representing the galaxy far, far away. You got the L1 boarding door right there. You got your X-Wing fighters right there, which I think they're very printed very nicely. Some collectors say that the printing of the spacecrafts are pixelated, which I think it is. It is true that this the printing of the model, the spacecrafts, the X-Wings, are pixelated, but this is 1/400 scale, so typically it will be like that. So it's kind of hard to get a full HD printed image on a 1/400 model. So at least NG know what to do. NG did their best they can to get an aircraft, the printing in this livery. So I think they still did a great job on that. You got your United Billboard tiles right there. Then you got your bottom antennas, which are painted red, which I do like the fact that NG did painted these bottom antennas red. They discontinued that as of recent. I don't know why they discontinued that, but I would like to see the red antennas, the red bottom antennas again, or maybe the red and white antennas that I would see on most aircrafts at the bottom antennas. If NG can do that, then that'll be very nice. Moving on to the middle section of the plane. So here's the middle section of the aircraft. You got your emergency exit doors right there. You got your CFM 56-7B engines right there, containing some various details right there. You got your engine exhaust as well. Here's your main landing gear with the front, like the very front, like the outer main landing gear is painted in black. So yeah, just the wheel, it's painted in black, which I do like this attention to this livery right here. You got your top antenna and your Wi-Fi dome right there. And here's your split scimitar right there, which is painted in blue. So this side represents all like the Jedi. So this is like the hero side right here. So like the good side, of course. So here it is right there. So you got the blue right there, and of course all the various stuffs right there. X-wings once again. And then moving on to this side, this is the wing portion. So you got your emergency exit indicator right there. So you would like just jump off there. And what I like, if you put like the flaps full and then there's like an emergency exit, many of the passengers would just like get out there, because the purpose, like, because of how low the 737 sits on the ground, like how close the 737's wings are to the ground, they have to put the flaps at full when they land from an emergency landing, and then all the passengers would just slide there. So I think that's very cool. And then you also got your flap track fairings, your console fuel frost areas right there, your ground spoilers and flight spoilers as well. You got your slat details right there, along with the engine pylons right there. And then you also got your trailing edge details with the flaps. And yeah, I think NG Models did a great job on the various details of the wings right there. Anyway, so moving on to this side, you also got your dual antennas right there. So let me try to focus. There we go. So you got your dual antennas, which are also painted in red, which again, very nice attention to NG Models detailing. And then moving on to the back area of the plane. Once again, I do want to focus it again. So here's the back of the plane. You got your back antenna. There's some kind of like piece of hair that or kind of like dust that I do want to take out. So I do apologize, guys, if I'm gonna like do this while on camera. Okay, so that should be gone. So once again, here's the back antenna right there. And then you got your aircraft registration, November 36272. And then you got your US flag right there, and you got the ship number over there. You also got the Star Wars, the Rise of Skywalker logo right there. And you also got your L2 door. And then moving on to the empennage of the aircraft, you got your tail skid area right there, which is molded into the model, which I do like. You also got your APU and your horizontal stabilizer with some nice detailing. And then you got this side right here. So this would be the lightsaber right there, the blue lightsaber. It's very printed nicely as well. Once again, it is pixelated when I look at it on camera or when I look at it up close. But once again, NG Models tried their best on trying to get this image into the model, which I think they still did a great job on doing that. Moving on, hang on, let me guys zoom out real quick. So here's the front of the aircraft right there. Cockpit windows are printed nicely right there. So let me zoom it in. Well, this is like the best I could see. I'm not sure if it's focusing clearly on the cockpit windows, but you can see that they're well aligned, and yeah, pretty nice. And yeah, NG does kill it on their printings. And then you got your CFM engines. You can't hardly see some details, but they do have some like fan blade details in there. And then moving on to the starboard section, you got the dark side area of the aircraft. So this is the main difference about this livery, is like one side is like the blue side, which represents all the Jedis, and then you also got the dark side area, which of course represents all the Darths, like Darth Stormtroopers and like Darth Vader and Kylo Ren. Yeah. So you got your TIE fighters right there. You got the United logo painted in red. You also got a split scimitar that's also red as well. And yeah, it's kind of like the same livery at this point. It's just like the difference in colors on each side. But you got your forward cargo bin, which I'm thinking it should be somewhere right there. And then you also got your aft cargo bin, which it's somewhere right there. I know the Star Wars logo is kind of like blocking it or like overlapping the cargo bin, but it is right there. Moving on to a top view of the aircraft, so let me just position her like this. So here's a top view of the aircraft. Nice details right there, although there's like a lot of stars that are kind of like overlapping these details, but you can slightly see the red beacon light. Moving on to the bottom section of the plane, you got your bottom details right there. You got a line right there, which I'm assuming that's kind of like representing, oh, you should not cross the engine while it is like running, or maybe just like cosmetic details. You got your, can hardly see the red beacon light anywhere, but maybe it might be somewhere over there if I were to guess. But what I do like is the main landing gear door, like the doors on the main landing gear are engraved into the model, which another nice attention to detail from NG. Here's the front section of the aircraft, so here's the front section of the plane. And then moving on to the back area, here is the back area of the plane. So overall, I think NG Models did a great job on this model in 1/400 scale. And I think they were the first ones to release this model in 1/400 scale in general. But other than that, I still think this model looks very nice. And overall, if you're a fan of Star Wars and aviation, then this model is for you. I think JC still has this. Maybe it's sold out, but I think, well, actually the 738, I think I last checked on NG's website. I think it's still available, so it's still available for purchase. So if you want to get this, then you can get this. And yeah, I decided to review this model for you guys because today is May 4th, so may the 4th be with you. It's Star Wars Day, so it's quite fitting to review this model for you guys because yeah, I do want to review this model. I also had the Alaska Star Wars as well, but I think I want to do the United one since it's technically like my first Star Wars livery, and hopefully next year I can try reviewing that NG Star Wars, or maybe some other day. But other than that, this is still a great model, and I'm really glad to have it for my United Airlines collection, even though Star Wars is good, but other than that, I'm not like a full Star Wars fan or anything. I think I remember back when I was a kid, I remember to play like Lego Star Wars games, and yeah, it's very nice. But other than that, I still think Star Wars is a great franchise, and if you love it or not, I think this model still looks very nice. And overall, NG did a great job on it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this review, but we're not done yet, because I gotta take a look at the aircraft's background information. So with that being said, let's get into the background information about this aircraft. Alright, now let's get into the background information of this United 737-800 in the Star Wars livery, registered November 36272. And before I begin, I will have to say that this aircraft no longer wears this special livery, and it's now in the Evo Blue livery. So yeah, so quite unfortunate that this aircraft no longer wears this livery, but hey, it was a very nice livery during its time while it was painted in this livery. So let's get started with some information from planespots.net. So the manufacturer serial number is 31590. The line number of this aircraft is 987. The type is a 737-800, of course. The age of this aircraft is 22.6 years. The test registration of this plane is November 17905 Bravo. And the production site, of course, is in the Renton plant in Renton, Washington. And the airframe status says that it is active, and this was last updated on February 24th of 2024. So this aircraft had had a bit of history, not much on history, but she formerly was delivered to Continental Airlines, and yeah, it had the registration still, and she was delivered to Continental Airlines back in November 2001. Of course, the engines are CFM56, fleet number is 272, and remarks, yeah, nothing much on the remarks, but then it got transferred to United Airlines on October 2010 following the merger with Continental. And right now, as I look at this, yeah, the fleet number is the same, and as for the remarks, it says it was painted in the Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker livery from November 2019 all the way up to February of 2022. And I think I also have some information from Airfleets. It just talks about first flight dates. So the first flight date of this particular aircraft was back in October 12th of 2001. And as I see, the engines are CFM56-7B26 engines. And looking at some other information right there. She was delivered to Continental Airlines back in November 15th of 2001 and got transferred to United Airlines on November 30th in 2001, which is quite different compared to Planespots.net, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, it's kind of between that October and November time frame. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it for all the information about November 36272. So that's it for the information background of this particular aircraft. And I do have something about this registration, as I did get to see this exact registration in United's Evo Blue livery back in Seattle Tacoma International Airport on May, I think it was late May of 2022 is when I saw this registration. I was actually at the Sierra Concourse plane spotting on that day, and I came across this United Evo Blue. At first I thought it was just a regular Evo Blue because of it's just a standard livery. But when I took a look at that registration, that's what I meant to say. When I took a look, when I took a look at that registration, I noticed that registration and I was like, oh my god, that's the former Star Wars livery plane. So I do have a picture of that aircraft and it's coming on your screen right now. So there's the picture of the Evil Blue 737-800, the former Star Wars aircraft that I wish I could have got it, but unfortunately I did not caught this aircraft when it was painted in this livery. But hey, at least it's nice to have a model out of it. Either way, I saw this exact registration at SeaTac back in May 2022. So that is it for today's video. So why don't we jump into the conclusion and we'll just conclude this video from here. So with that being said, let's get into the conclusion. What a very cool model from NG Models back then, back in May of 2022 of course. And overall, whether you like Star Wars, this still is a very nice model for your collection. And overall, NG just really killed it. They literally killed it from the mold to the printing and delivery. It's just flat out fantastic. I think that has got to be the model of the year for 2022 because of how awesome it looks. And just like the printing and just all the various details in general, I think NG Models did a wonderful job on this model. This is like an S tier effort from NG Models, and overall, I want to see some more like NG liveries like this. So like NG models like this. Well, of course, like, yeah, all these various. So yeah, I'm just like really glad to have this model in my collection, and overall, it's a fantastic model. And overall, NG Models doing what they gotta do, making customers happy, and overall, they're just a good manufacturer. The molds look very nice. Their molds look very nice. The printing are they're just nice in general. That's all I can really say. They're just nice, and then they're just flat out fantastic. I'm excited to see what NG Models has to bring for the table for some other models they have for the US collectors, and of course Chinese collectors of course, but they also do some US models, so I'm excited to see what NG Models has to do with their next set of models for all these US collectors right here. And once again, really glad to have this beautiful model for my collection, and hopefully I can feature her in a future airport update in my channel. So that's it for today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And turn on that post notification bell so you won't miss a video like this anytime soon. And don't forget to check out all my very small plane content by clicking on that playlist, and you can see all my small plane content from unboxings, reviews, and a whole lot more. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Anyways, good night.